Oh, see that? That's it there, that's it there.
Kumasi legacy, baby. Kumasi legacy.
Emma rather do school.
Rather what? Rather.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got a lot to think about when he's got a full squad.
Aubameyang is no captain, bro. Aubameyang.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we're back again. We're back again with another episode of Football Tussle. As usual, I'm FM. We've got CIC, A Footy, and the Grand Champ on the show. Designated host. We're not going to waste any time, and we're going to go straight into, the biggest talking part of the weekend, and that's Spurs losing 3-0 at home to Man United. Goal scorers, Cristiano Ronaldo scoring that fabulous goal, dropping over the head of the defender, volley, bottom right corner, fantastic goal. Ederson chipping in with a goal, Marcus Rashford getting one in on the 86th minute. But as you can all see, the fallout of that win for Man United resulted in Nuno getting the sack. Can anyone elaborate for us on what's going on at Spurs?
Well, where do you start there? What's it called? Nuno, it's a seesaw adventure there. It started so well for Nuno there. 3 consecutive 1-0 wins, shutouts there.
The great Man City.
Yeah, beating Man City on the first game there. You're thinking that maybe something's going on here. But then the style of football it got worse and worse. But that's not a shock because that's his style of management. But when things were going difficult on the sidelines, he was like, what's it called, motionless. It was just the arms were just folded, and there was no charisma to try and cajole the players to do something there still. But it was a poor appointment in the first place, because how many times was he interviewed for the job, and how many managers turned the job down before that? They look a shadow themselves, Spurs, the whole team, let alone Harry Kane and Son. It looks they're in big trouble, whoever takes over. So yeah, go on.
Sorry, CIC. I don't think it was a poor side. I don't think his appointment was a poor appointment, even though he was interviewed 4 times. But you look at the Spurs team's crap, and there's no coincidence that once Harry Kane got reinstated back into the side, the demise started. Life without Harry Kane was doing fine. They got him into the team. The team's moving slower. The build-up plays slower. Hardly any touches. I'm sorry, the guy doesn't want to be there. Everything goes towards Daniel Levy.
Daniel Levy is the main one. Yeah,
130 million, like the conversation I was having with FM earlier on today. Who are you to turn on 130 million for Harry Kane?
Who are they? Who are Spurs? Who are Spurs to turn down 130 million for one player? You take that money and you go and buy 2 or 3 very good players and add to the squad.
Exactly.
Who are they? Daniel Levy is such a greedy C word that, the Spurs fans should be really looking to get him out, as opposed to shouting Nuno out.
The thing that saves Daniel Levy before A Footy comes in, the thing that saves Daniel Levy from other normal chief executives is because he's got quite a few shares in Spurs. So it's hard to get him out there unless it's a power coup there, whatever, like meeting Joe Black kind of thing there still, where you have to try and get him out. It's
Really,
hard to get him out there. So that's what saves him. Any other chairman, he would have been gone long time ago, regardless of being one of the most shrewdest and tightest chairmen in the business there. But back to you, A40.
Look, I'm not gonna say much here, but it's
No, say
simple,
lots.
You know, finish Spurs.
I'm not gonna blame the Louis that much. For me, it's the coach. Yeah, it's Nuno was the fourth choice management that was supposed to come. And they got him. And since he's been there, honestly, the football is not attractive. Let's be honest. There's nothing going on.
Nothing's changed with that. Nuno's tactics and Nuno's playing styles was always the same. The thing is, he hasn't got the clientele in Holberg and Skip playing in centre midfield. He's got Neves and that is it Coutinho or whatever? Moutinho playing for Wolves, and those are ballers. Those two are ballers.
Oh yeah, they know how to play. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's the difference there. He's always played.
And then he also had those other Portuguese players up front there as well.
Yeah, but then for me, like you look at Spurs, I can't blame the manager that much. The team's crap, bro. The team's crap.
He spends the money.
I understand what you're saying, but look,
money.
But other managers that's been there, they play good football. This one is
Mourinho didn't play good football. Mourinho didn't play good football.
It's the same kind of style. Same style.
Harry Kane was scoring goals. I have to say.
Yeah, but at that time he was hungry. He was still He was still like loving Spurs, loving life. But the life is no longer loving life.
His head's been turned. His head's been turned by the Man City.
You don't blame him. You don't blame him.
If you ask any Spurs player right now, any fan, they will tell you this coach right now, under this coach, they're playing the worst right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. He had to go. They had to make the decision because they've lost the plot.
The Spurs fans are bugging. If they think like any other manager is going to come in there and get them playing exciting football, they ain't just got the players. You look at the team, you look at the whole entire Spurs team, and as an Arsenal fan, as bad as we are, even though we've been on a good run, if I was to pick one player from, I could have picked 3 players from Spurs. I would only pick Son. I would leave Harry Kane there back in flipping.
It's true. If you took it form-wise, correct. That's correct.
You say you would pick Son, but Son ain't done anything since he's been back from international duty himself. Or is it the COVID in, COVID out kind of thing? Because it's rumored to have COVID, but he's done nothing since.
He's been a shadow of himself. They've all been a shadow of themselves.
They're all clueless. They have no idea what's going on.
Who's performed this season? If you count the players that have performed well for them this season,
the only one that you might say is Holberg.
You will count Son. You might count Holberg. You might count Mora in Fleets, but that's about it. But the whole Spurs mid, the defense is a shambles. Loris is not what it used to be. Left back.
They bought that Emerson, Royal, and Romero in, and remember we mentioned them in the first couple of episodes, and we were like, they bought this, they bought that. I mean, it's made no difference.
Royal,
Royal, his name is Romero, whatever his name is, he might as well be Sanchez.
That's what I'm saying. Because that Emerson guy, I don't know how many games he actually played for Barcelona before being shipped off to Spurs.
Fake Barca player.
And he's a bit like what's it called, Wan-Bissaka at Man United. Once he goes past the halfway line, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's having a nosebleed. Giving balls away, it's poor. And then all of a sudden, Ben Davis was at left back. I don't know what was happening going back to the old days.
Wasn't Danny Rose sitting Ben Davis on the bench? And where is Danny Rose now? Where's Danny Rose now?
He's at Watford. He's now sitting on the bench at Watford.
And now Ben Davis is getting first team football. Spurs,
I think the other guy was injured. The one that they bought from Real Madrid. Even him, he's been poor this season. Among the rest of them, as Didi said, hardly anyone, or Ranjam said, hardly anyone is waving a good torch there. They're in the mire, as they say, the old saying, right in the mire.
Apparently, Spurs haven't had a shot on target in 2 hours of Premier League football.
Woo!
What 2 hours, not a shot on target.
My God.
Wow. No wonder Roy Keane said they're boring. Roy Keane said it. Simple. They're boring. There's nothing there. How can you be at home and they had about 63% of the possession and they didn't have one shot? De Gea was having a picnic there. And Man United, with their low confidence, if you scored first against Man United, they would have been there for the taking. But for me, it was a shocking performance, and at the end of the day, he had to go Nuno.
Just look I blame the players as well, man. I like Nuno as a manager, man. I think people were saying
he's a decent manager. He's decent.
On the media, they were saying, so Nuno plays defensive football. Our Wolves, his football is exciting anyway. His football is exciting.
Counter-attacking, counter-attacking.
We're talking about management. Look at both of them. Ole's not the best, but I would take Ole all day long. Then I was checking Nuno's stats. I don't. Did he even play? He was a goalkeeper, for crying out loud. I'm not saying that.
Ole's been lucky. Ole's been lucky because he's had world-class individual players and better players. That's what saved Ole. Manager, his team is rubbish.
Big up to Manchester United anyway.
Instead of having a player in Harry Kane having his head turned, Ole's had Ronaldo come in. That's the difference. He had one of the best ever come into your team, as opposed to one of the best strikers in the Premier League getting his head turned. So that's why Ole's might have better stats in your eyes this season.
And also he's got better players. He's got if you look at Man United's team, he's got better players. What's it called? How many other Spurs players will get into Man United's team? That says it all.
But I just want to say one thing. I feel like Spurs, the whole fan base, not because I'm an Arsenal fan, the whole Spurs fan base, they're definitely on something. If they think they're definitely deluded. If they think they're a bigger team than what they are, who are Spurs to think now they could be sacking managers right, left, and center, and they've got right to the top four? They don't.
I was hearing over the course of the summer that Spurs are a bigger team and a better team than Arsenal.
Never.
It was being mentioned all over TalkSport and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And they were given reasons that they finish above Arsenal. Arsenal's down mid-table. They finish above Arsenal a few seasons in a row. But come on. Put those seasons aside. Spurs an absolute joke. They've won nothing.
What they want?
They've regressed. They've gone backwards even. They've even gone backwards.
The last trophy was 2006. I think I don't know if
it's 2008.
2008, and I don't know who scored in the final. If it was Michael Dawson or Woodgate, one of those two guys. I can't remember anyway.
Yeah, the Carling Cup.
Yeah, the Carling Cup. That's what they've won in years. And what the commentator said the other day. He says it was that in a nutshell. But I'll just add the last bit. He said world-class stadium, but he missed out saying with a championship squad. That's what it was. They've got a world-class stadium. You give them that. It's a brilliant stadium. World-class. But the squad that they've got is like championship quality. What's it called? They don't even look like there's any fear factor there. They're just like turning up. It's a bit like Man United kind of, but this one's even worse because individually they're lacking. And Nuno had to go anyway. It's a pity for him. Obviously, only four months into a so-called big job, and he's out the door.
Yeah,
him and his team there, but it's a pity. But it'd be interesting who they take. They're talking about Conte. This is the same Conte that turned it down in the summer. So why is he so desperate now to want to go to it? Maybe because they're desperate times, desperate measures, as FM is saying, maybe more money now, you can say, maybe 15, 16 million.
More money, isn't it? Go on. More money, and if he doesn't get them playing the way that these
good payoffs
Spurs fans think that they should be playing, he can get sacks and get another payoff.
It could pay off. Exactly. I'm with you.
Spurs have been paying off managers for nowadays.
The style of football, the style of management, or the style of football from Conte, I don't even know if it's close to what Spurs are looking for. But because he's a winner, maybe there you go. It's that kind of, they're going back down that. They won't last 12, 18 months.
I thought Manchester United was trying to get in.
Yeah, well, that boat might have sailed there because of this victory there. What's it called, against Spurs? So they might have blown it.
I heard. I saw a caption that the Grand Champ actually sent that maybe Oli was using a little bit.
Yeah, Oli was doing beat Spurs to get Conte in.
get Nuno sacked, get Conte in at Spurs, and save his own job, innit?
So I'm all right. So he said. So it's like this. I'm all right. Nah,
there you go. Spurs just. I think for me, the deep reasons in the squad is like you got few people on high wages at Spurs who don't want to be there. Harry Kane don't want to be there. You look at Dele Alli, he's on crazy wages.
Wow.
What's
happened to that guy? What's happened to
It's the hairstyle. It's the hairstyle. Look at the hairstyle.
He's not always had that hairstyle. He's not always had that.
Yeah, but now since he's got that hairstyle, it's got worse. For me, it's on the pitch. He's too busy chasing after Pep's daughter.
Grandchamp, you just said they got players on big wages and they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Why is that they don't want to be there? They've got big new stadium right there.
Stadium's nice, but trophies,
because they don't win nothing. They don't win nothing. Have you seen the Spurs cabinet? Have you seen the Spurs trophy cabinet?
Trophy.
They threw it out with the old stadium, didn't they?
Exactly.
hoping that they bring a new shiny one. It's still empty.
So if you're a top player, a footy, and Spurs coming for you, Man United coming for you, which would you go? You wouldn't go Spurs, would you? Because they've got nothing in the cabinet. They're not going to show you anything. They are a trophyless club.
They're not even Man United. If it's Arsenal and Spurs, you're going to Arsenal.
So just round it up for me. What is the project over there then?
There's no project. The project. Livy, the chairman or whatever, is Project Madness. That's what it is. It's just total madness there. That's all you can say there. There's no project. There's no grand plan. You get a new stadium, hoping that you'll be in Champions League regularly, and it's all gone wrong. And then you're sacking manager after manager.
To speak what you said ago, what people need to realize now that when you're clubs like Arsenal, Spurs, and you go into a new stadium, it's not easy to keep that standard. It's not easy to keep your best players. It's not easy to start thinking that you're going to push on. And we as Arsenal fans, we already knew, but we kept quiet.
Well, you did it. At least you did a good job because you kept at least staying. Even though you wasn't spending too much money, you were finishing in the top 4 regularly.
That's why Monsieur Wenger, forever I pay gratitude to you. I always said building a stadium is not easy. It's not easy when you're spending over 500 million to build a stadium and to keep the same squad and keep the same energy going. It's not easy.
They overpaid it on that stadium.
Why do you think at Anfield we're doing extensions instead of looking for a new stadium? You have to be like this now.
Chelsea are doing the same thing. They can't even buy land anywhere to build a new stadium. So
who's that? Everton?
Chelsea.
Oh yeah, because that's the problem in London.
There's no space.
There isn't no space, and it's as you say, it's at a premium, and it doesn't matter if you're Roman.
Yep, it's true. But good for Spurs anyway. They deserve it anyway.
It'd be interesting who they get. If it's Conte, I don't know if he comes in, if he can still change it. It might take him a few.
Conte is going for a payoff. Forget that.
I know he's going for more, top up there still. But I'm saying that you bring this guy in, Nuno. He's bought some players, as we mentioned. And now you bring in a new manager. He might not like these players. In January, they'll try and get a few players. It's hard to get good players in January. But for me, Conte is like Mourinho. Maybe if you're lucky, you can get 12, 18, at most 2 years out of him.
Yeah.
Livy will be at it again. Looking for another manager.
I saw an interview with Conte and Henry, and Henry asked him something along the lines: if you're in training and a player doesn't listen to you, what do you do? Conte said a player has to listen to him. You'll prefer to kill them.
Yeah, I saw that interview.
He's a different kind of breed, and he gets the best out of players. To be honest,
it's like Diego Simone at Atletico Madrid. That type of animal.
Full of energy. Now that's what I want him in the Premier League again, to come and challenge Pep Guardiola.
He wouldn't get the best out of that Spurs crap.
You won't be challenging there, a footy. You won't be challenging there. He's as Grand Champ said, and then FM said, and myself, he's only coming there for that Muller.
Benjamin's all about the Benjamins, baby.
There you go. But yeah, well, let's see how they do, because they need to get a manager. They need to get a manager in quickly, because you don't want to leave it too long. Because normally, when you sack someone like that, you've already almost finalized who you're bringing in as a replacement.
I heard that Conte is actually in London.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in London and he's he's been speaking to the Spurs board there. So I think it's actually imminent. I think it's imminent that Conte will take the job.
It's true. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm sure they were even talking to him, what's it called, after the even maybe slightly before the Man United game. And then what's it called, once the Man United result came in, it propelled
it
was time to go
faster. And then that was it. Conte, what's it called, speed up.
Heads a roll.
It was a poor performance. It was so bad. The thing is, United didn't do nothing great that game.
There wasn't.
Spurs were so poor that United actually, basically, United were poor and then Spurs were just even worse.
Okay,
it's true because they didn't even test Man United's new formation, playing the three at the back there. You could have at least tried and test that Maguire and even Varane. I was surprised to see Varane back so quickly there because what's it called? Maybe it was like a bit like Maguire against Leicester. Maybe it could be rushed back. But Son and and Harry Kane, they didn't really and Lucas Moura, they weren't there to test them. Man United, the confidence is really low. Even though Spurs is
they were ripe. They were ripe there still. And Spurs just blew it. Yeah. They completely blew it. Yeah. So I think to conclude it all, Nuno had to go. Nuno had to go.
The rubbish.
I'm in agreement with that.
Nuno had to go. Spurs.
I'm not in agreement with that. I don't think that. I'm not in agreement.
What are you saying, Governor?
Spurs.
You keep him because it's a bit like Solskjaer. You keep him at what's it called at Man United. Is that what you're saying?
Do you know what? Let me tell you something. If let's say Tottenham won that game, would they have sacked Ole and they go for Conte?
It would have been the other way around.
Exactly.
Yes,
Ole would have gone and Nuno would have stayed.
Woodward's hand would have been on the speed dial quicker than than Livy's finger. Whoever hits the buzzer first.
Maybe Conte had a call from Man United and then a call from Spurs before that game. And he's like, you know what?
He agrees with that. He still agrees.
How much you offering me over here?
2 million.
How much? Contracts?
3 million. How much? 4 million, 5 million, 6 million. Okay.
Trading places. Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
That's crazy, man.
The Dukes.
If I drop this verse.
No.
I remember that scene.
You've just made us £1 million. What about this verse?
There you are. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Oh, brilliant. Wow, that's a classic.
But yeah, definitely.
Everything I eat goes straight to my pockets. 2021, finna graduate college. Got that shit, I'm a real hot topic.
Okay, we're back from a mini break there. It was interesting talking about Spurs and their downfall and demise. Spurs.
Championship side in a world-class stadium.
White Hart Lane.
There you are. Burn it down, mate. Burn it down.
Okay, so we're just going to talk about the rest of the Saturday games. It was a fantastic Saturday. All the big teams playing on Saturday, which I don't think I've seen for a long time. Yeah.
So no, it's very rare, especially what's it called? The likes of Liverpool and Man City playing at 3:00. It's very rare because they're normally TV games. Yeah. But as you said, it was action-packed Saturday.
And nice. Arsenal, Leicester, the Arsenal kicked it off for us. Lunchtime kickoff there. Arsenal winning 2-0 with Gabriel and Emil Smith Rowe scoring. Our old friend Emil Smith Rowe.
I know. It's come back to tell me to shut it as well because
I know about him anyway.
I've been complaining about ESR for a minute now, saying he should be finishing games, but I guess
you might be watching the show.
There you go. Still,
exactly. That's prompting, but I feel like at Arsenal now. I feel it's
say what you want to say. Say what you want to say.
Be honest.
It's going well.
There you go. Don't be gone.
Basically, I have to give Arteta his props with regards to how, because when managers are doing bad, it's so nice, bashing them. So I feel like I have to give him his props. I could see, obviously, with all the players coming in, I could see we still don't have a style of play, but I feel like all Arsenal have got right now is they play with the mentality of we are not going to lose this game. So
Hard to beat.
We're going to be hard to beat. Exactly, that's the right word. So I feel like now is going good. But then once again, I've said it. You look at Lacazette back in the team, and now we look a bit more fluent because
You said it.
Because FM said he was gone. He said his leg's gone.
I did say it was gone.
Quite a few episodes, you said he was finished.
I said that.
He still won't be a starter though. Let's be honest, guys.
Well, he's all right still, but that was a good fixture for Arsenal, just to show how far Arsenal have come, and because the favourites in that game were Leicester. But Arsenal
the other day.
Yeah, and Arsenal ripped them apart there, and Leicester just couldn't handle Arsenal's formation and the style of football there, and Rodgers Leicester were on the ropes. Vardy was awful in that game.
I'm going to stop you there. I was not surprised with that going into that game for Arsenal. Their defense is quite solid right now, and compared to Rodgers,
it's just a test.
So it is a test, definitely, but I knew they were going to be compact and solid at the back. To be honest,
I don't know if last week you predicted them to win there. I don't know if you predicted Arsenal to win.
No, I probably didn't get the chance to anyway.
Oh no, you did, because we did the predictions last week, but we'll leave that.
You didn't.
I'll review what we said last week and added later on.
But I just want to finish. I don't want to talk too much, but I just want to finish it off with. I'm going to put my hands up and say, Aaron Ramsdale. When the guy was brought in, I was saying to myself, why are we buying Ramsdale for 30 million? We got Martinez and we sold him. I was complaining as I was one of those mugs complaining. But listen, the boy.
See that save? Did you see that save?
Top save.
Wow.
If that was Leno, it's in.
The stretching of his arms is amazing.
Elastic. Yeah.
Utter disbelief. The guy was 6 foot in the air, vertically like that, trying to get. Wow, what a
It reminds me of a Jens Lehmann anyway. I've not seen an Arsenal goalkeeper with such charisma.
Well, it reminds me of you of a Jens Lehmann without the crazy man attitude.
Yes, that's it.
He's not crazy like Jens.
He's not. Like Jens.
Have you seen some of his distribution now as well?
Yeah, they were talking about it earlier. They were saying, what's it called? There's even talk now. They even talk now that he's now pushing Pickford for number one spot there for England. Forget Hope and all those other people.
Who was that Chelsea goalkeeper that was on cocaine at one time? Was it Bosman?
Bosnich. Yeah, Bosnich.
He was saying that he should be England number one now because and I totally agree. Pickford ain't anything special there.
Leicester,
give him time.
Yeah, Leicester. The problem is the defense is poor, and then sometimes there's too much faith from Rodgers on Vardy. Sometimes you have to take Vardy off. He could have taken Vardy off and brought on their striker informed Daka. He would have given Arsenal a few problems because the second half, Arteta went into he made Arsenal go into their shell where they were sitting back. So if Rodgers had maybe made a few positive changes, maybe they could have got a goal, and then we would have seen if Arsenal could have handled that. As we saw earlier on, I mean, we'll speak later on about managers making positive changes and then the home team being found wanted.
You're right, because Leicester actually had 64% possession compared to Arsenal 36. It's very strange for me to see the possession completely the other way nowadays compared to what it used to be back in the days where Arsenal used to have the most possession and not score. Now we've got the least possession in most games. Games.
Yeah.
But nowadays, as they say in football nowadays, unless
possessions don't win your games.
That's it. You could be passing the ball sideways and backwards to the goalkeeper and stuff, and it means nothing. Yeah. But well done to Arsenal. And then now they're moving up the table there quietly there with wins there. And now
17 points.
There you go.
Same as Man United, 3 behind West Ham, 3 behind Man City.
There you go. And and for me, there's a space there in the top 4 that is available. And now, before we would never have been speaking about it, but Arsenal's one of those ones that can be involved in trying to get into the top 4. Can you imagine?
Choke on that.
I am choking. I need to just
have some Fosters
get my stuff back.
Once upon a time, the Spurs fans were saying, "Mind the gap, the gap." When they were top and we were bottom. Now look how the table's completely turned upside down now.
There you go.
Sorry, Footy, were you gonna say something?
I'm just gonna say, like, Arsenal is doing very great. Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna go back to the defense formage. Keep that defense. Oh, you've mentioned all those stats just not long ago. It goes down to the defense. Keep it solid, and we're talking about that top 4. Like, nothing going on in striking. Like, we can only mention a couple of players doing the job, but I want you guys to actually concentrate on your defense right now. It's top goalkeeper. Trust me. You guys are solid. You guys are solid right now. I like what Arsenal is doing at the back right now. But let's hope it continues. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. It was a good result for Arsenal, and it's nice to move up the table quietly, and efficiently. Man City blew themselves away to Crystal Palace there.
No. Yeah. They played at home. They were at home.
It was at home.
Yeah. Palace have had their number a couple of times nowadays there still. What's it called? They've beaten them there before, previously. But the problem with Man City there, I don't know what's happened to Kevin De Bruyne there. Maybe the age, even though he's not, I don't think he's hit 30 yet there, but I think the injury toll on the body there is become like a bit of a boxer. He had his eye socket broken in the Euros, was it, or was it the Champions League final? He's had ankle issues there, rush back with injections and all that, and he's looking a bit of a shadow of himself there still, because the reliance on him at Man City is very important. Even though obviously they got Foden there, but he needs to try and get back to his best, because they can't afford to drop any more points, as we're going to talk about Chelsea in a bit still. But one more thing there, Laporte. I don't know what's wrong with Laporte sometimes. When he comes up against a tricky or pacey player, his mind goes. He gets too tight. And then gives away stupid, tackles. And then he tried to do a reversal on the referee, but the referee, he almost fell for it. He gave the yellow card. But VAR, said he needs to upgrade it and have a check there. He was rightly sent off, because there was no need to do that. Even if you're at 1-0 down, you're Man City. There's no guarantee Zaha will score anyway. But even if he does, you still don't get yourself sent off that early in the game.
Yeah. The thing is, 2 things. One, now I understand why Pep dropped Laporte for a long time last season.
Yeah,
I'm starting to see the cracks in Laporte. I will also say the same thing for Diaz. The both centre backs at Man City are both suspect. Once they see plays, they get jittery.
Nosebleed.
Exactly. And the number 2 with Man City, not every day you're gonna do that nonsense. Jesus on the wing, crap, Foden. Stop that, Pep. Just play striker there.
And then your old friend.
He hasn't got a striker though.
He's got no striker.
But it's his own fault. It's his own fault, FM. It's his own fault. Why go out and buy a vanity signing in Grealish?
He tried to get Kane.
There's other strikers out there, isn't there?
There's other strikers.
Plenty strikers.
The Grealish buy has been crap. I'm sorry.
It's a vanity. It doesn't do nothing in games. I'm with you now.
All he does is run to the left wing and then does that stupid pass cut back. That's not good enough for 100 million. That's not good enough. So
maybe
it's good enough for Villa, but not for City.
Maybe Pep just wanted to weaken Villa.
Nah, why? Villa's not what's it called from you there.
I don't know how Palace beat Man City, but look, wherever it is, sometimes you need luck, and they've got luck and they've got hard work going on right now, and it's fantastic and beautiful right now.
Well deserved anyway. And once again, that Conor Gallagher is what's it called? He's doing brilliant. He's doing a brilliant signing there from Vieira. And Vieira, there was question marks about Vieira when he first took over, but the style of football, he's been unlucky in previous games where people have scored equalizers late on. They should have maybe had more points, but the style of football is 100% gone in the other direction
compared to when Roy was there.
Under the granddad Roy. And good on Vieira for doing a brilliant job so far. And they did well, Palace, getting Vieira instead of Nuno.
Palace did a good job in getting Vieira, like you said, and they did a good number on Man City. Sorry, did you want to say something, A-Footy?
No.
They did a number on Man City there. Man City completely blown themselves on a weekend where Liverpool dropped points.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're moving to that game now, is it?
Yeah, I think we should move straight into that game.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. What's it called?
Wait, seriously, hold on a second. Before I let you go on your rant there, because I could see you charging your turbo speed.
Are we moving to that game? Are we?
I'm moving to that game. I have to say, Liverpool this season have been respectable. Van Dijk is not looking like the same anymore. He doesn't.
Yes, the injury. I agree. Even the what's it called? Most loyal Liverpool fans will say. I say the same thing. He's looking too turny there, getting turned. He's all over the place.
And the second thing is, I remember I was having a private conversation off camera saying Konate is better than Upamecano of Man.
Anyway, still,
I told you that on that performance in that show, my goodness, Konate was all I see. Ben White looked 10 times miles ahead better than flipping with Konate of.
How much did Poole buy him for?
Bought him for what's it? I think it was about 30-something million still.
Okay,
but,
that's
yeah.
right.
There you are. What's it called? That's it. It wasn't 50 million anyway. But yes, but yeah, what
2-0 up?
Yeah, 2-0 up and playing sailing. You're thinking that? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe how many we're going to get here. Maybe Salah might carry on his 11 games in a row of scoring there. But that crucial VAR goal that it was rightly ruled out anyway. Even Mane, when Mane, when the camera zoomed in on Mane was doing like this. I'm not too sure anyway. But if that set aside, I'm sorry. There's Liverpool should see that game through. I've said this a few times now. On Football Tussle this season that. There's a couple games. The first one was Brentford's when we were leading late on in the game against Brentford in that seesaw battle. The second one is against Man City, even though Man City is a bit tough, obviously, because of the quality. And now this one. These are what's it called? Over those 3 games, that's 6 points drops. And when it's a tight title race like this one, you can't afford to be dropping points like that, especially in 2 games against lower opposition. I give plaudits to Brighton because, as I said,
they're tough to play.
Yeah. When I was talking about what's it called, a manager making a change, that's what what's it called, the manager did. Potter at Brighton. He took off the defensive midfielder, and then he brought on an attacking midfielder, and Klopp was there. Normally, Klopp, you're thinking, Klopp thinks, I'm great, but you need to react as well, because when he brought on that player, Brighton were in control, and we were lucky to maybe even hang on to a draw there. But I was happy the way.
That got cancelled, right? It should have been 3-2.
Yeah. No. The goal was offside. What's it called? Just like Salah's goal, because we forget that Salah scored a goal as well, and they're both the same, where both players were just slightly offside, just by enough there. So it could have easily been 3-3. And
I'm gonna pick up on that anyway, because they looking at the stats not long ago, they had more shots on target, way better than you. Yeah. Like I think 3 shots better than you. So Brighton are not babies. Yes, they haven't won.
They're our bogey team anyway, because they beat us there last season.
Yeah, they haven't won the league, nothing, but they're a very good team, and the coach, he knows how to play. But I have to say, Liverpool, I like watching Liverpool. They lose, they draw, they win, they're attractive to play. They're hard to beat.
We don't lose anyway, but good.
That's what I'm saying. They're hard to beat, so you have to come with your agent to really beat.
Definitely. Definitely. That's the only good thing. That's the only excellent thing about them. They're hard to beat. But these are just points that, we shouldn't be, dropping. The problem for Liverpool, we're getting too many injuries in the midfield department there still. And that midfield, when you come up against good teams, it could give us problems with the up-and-coming games. Have you
seen Keita's shin pads?
I know they're like babies. They're that tiny. No one is getting injured.
What's the point? Why don't you just? What's the point? What's he doing? No wonder he gets injured there all the time.
Yeah, what's it called? Grealish is another one that has shin pads like that.
No, Grealish's ones are like that.
He's a bit like that.
But his ones are literally a little square. It's just
they look like chicken nuggets. It's just
yeah, what's it called? I don't know what's happening with him anyway. Still, what's it called? I was surprised he even started, and he came off with a hamstring injury. Looks like he might be out for a couple of games there still, but we'll see. But Liverpool, what's it called? They just need to sort out the Van Dijk needs to get back to what's it called? I know it was a long a painful injury there, but he needs to get himself back and get the leadership to sort out that defense. There, we can't afford to be dropping too many points.
You Liverpool people need to relax. You just mentioned last episode you ain't lost no game. You know
what? Do you want?
But still, do you want to win every single game?
Yeah, but
you want to win every single game.
Quickly, one more thing. We've been there before, where we've drawn too many games. And we've lost less games than the people that won the title. We've done that too many times.
Yeah, Liverpool like to draw games, which cost them. But we're not going to spend too much time.
We'll move on anyway.
Burnley got their first win of the season in Brentford, 3-1.
Yep.
I think the wheels are falling. As great as Brentford have been, I think the wheels might be falling off there as well.
Slowly now.
Slowly. That's one wheel gone, and sooner or later the other wheel will be following suit.
I think they've hit that wall in the Premier League now on the legs. It starts to get to you. But I think Burnley, the signing of Cornet
it's been
he scored again. What a fabulous goal as well.
I think that's four goals in 3 games or whatever. Look at that. He's a top goal scorer, I think.
Yeah, so he's actually doing bits for them. So
yeah, he won't be there long. He won't be there.
He won't be. As I said, it's a stopgap.
Yeah.
No, his agent got lost on the A to Z. but talking about Brentford, they did well to get these, even though they're still a threat of relegation. They getting those wins earlier on in the season has helped them, even though they're going through a bad run. But as you said, the wheels are slowly falling off. They can't afford to have all the wheels go. Next minute they're back where they belong in the championship.
Stuck in the mud.
There you go. The only luck they have is that they've got teams even far worse than them.
But that's the thing, though. You say they're far worse, but when you start losing to teams around you, at the moment they're mid-table. Before you know it, they're
on your door.
It's true.
Norwich lost again.
Well, that one is not a surprise, but the only surprise
exactly.
That's my old friends. The only surprise is that it shows you how Leeds have gone so backwards there. Because really, before you would have put Leeds to win this game easily. Like 2-0, maybe 3-1 or 3-0. But Leeds even struggled there just to get over the line there still. But for me, Norwich, they lack. We've said it many times. I think in every episode,
crap, man. I'm tired of
every episode. They're crap. Sorry, Norwich fans, but we have to be honest. From goalkeeper up to striker, it's awful.
And the
manager.
Cookie is a bit like Street Fighter. The level is gone now. That level of doing special moves, you can't even build it up again.
Brilliant. Wow.
There's nothing left for Pookie.
That was a good analogy.
There's nothing left for Pookie.
Yeah.
He doesn't look a threat anymore.
Yeah.
Before, a couple of seasons ago, he was a shrewd dream team fantasy player. But now he's a shadow of himself. I think he's lost those yards of pace there still, just like his hairstyle. So So yeah, they're gone anyway. I don't need to say too much about my old friends.
You want to fill us in on the rest of the Saturday games there, CRC?
Yeah, well, we got brilliant from no strikers, Chelsea. But the machine is just too strong going on over there.
Daniel James. Apparently, the defenders.
Rhys James.
Sorry, Daniel.
Yeah, that's Grand Chance friends. But we forgot to talk about him, but we might come back to him. But yeah, go on. What are you going to say about Rhys James?
Rhys James scoring 2, and apparently the defenders have scored way more goals than attackers at Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying. That's why this Chelsea are definitely why they're favourites. They're favourites for the title because they can score from all different departments there still. These people, the fortunate thing for Chelsea also is that even though they lost their top strikers, the fixtures are being favourable for them at this time there, which is, it's what happens anyway. You don't wish for injuries, but somehow they still find a way through. And that's why they're favourites for the title. And then FM's what's it called, friends there, Newcastle there. As I said, was it the right moment for them to be bought? Why buy a team when there's no guarantee or safety in the Premiership? I'm sorry, you don't buy a team and then be wasted time in the Championship for 1 year.
I think they should still bought Newcastle.
Okay, Bruce.
But they should have kept Bruce. There's no point sacking. No matter how much the fans hate Bruce, they should have kept Bruce, stabilized them, kept them in the Premier League, and then get rid of them.
Yeah, I don't understand. I agree with
Why are you putting number two in charge when number two is playing the same style of football as when Bruce was there?
I don't understand that. What's it called?
Crazy.
Was that guy? Was that guy? Maybe that guy was at Newcastle before Steve Bruce. Because normally when you sack
you sacked the whole team, is it?
Yeah, just like what they've done with Nuno. They've sacked the whole 4 coaches. So I don't know why this guy is still there. He's still part of Steve Bruce there, still like an old tie.
Maybe they said, you know what? If you backstab Bruce there, we'll give you some little bit under the table.
He's probably telling him.
Backstabbing, but it's not improving results on the pitch there still.
No. And the weird thing is when they interviewed him, he said something about, we were playing good footy and it was in resolute form like the old leader and Steve Bruce. And I'm thinking, hold on, they sacked Bruce, kept you, and then you're saying stuff about Bruce. It makes no sense. Makes no sense.
You'll be sacked.
And then quickly moving on to the last game on Saturday. What's it called? Watford versus Southampton. Watford brought that back down to earth there after sending 5 back to Merseyside. Maybe they forgot that they don't know how that was it. We can't score anymore.
They used the goals.
Very good win for them.
They used the goals there.
There you go, still.
There goes.
Well, anybody can beat Everton at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. As we found out this evening. But yeah, that was a good win for what's it called, under pressure Southampton there still. So, and a clean sheet there for some people in their fantasy team as well still. So well done to Southampton there. And then we'll move on to the Sunday game there. What's it called? The Hammers. What a season they're having. What's it called? Carries on from last season. Moyes, when he came back for the second time, the fans hated him. Even I spoke to a couple of weeks ago there. They were saying, yeah, we hated him, but now he's like a king to us. And the way they're hammering on, and the team, what's it called? They're all working together. Yeah. Which is wonderful for them.
That's my proper team, I watch West Ham and I'm like, wow. Every player in that team.
There's a game plan.
Well-structured team. Even Kofu doesn't even get a look in nowadays.
Yeah, Johnson is doing the job there.
Yeah, but he can't get back into the team.
Yeah, because Johnson is doing a good job.
Yeah.
Young Johnson.
That's the thing Moyes is doing at West Ham is that everybody they're fighting for the shots. You see the same thing that happened to Zuma. When Zuma first, probably when he was coming there for, hey, he
walked straight in.
My friend, your time. Every player for now has had to be this time. One time he wasn't in the squad. Yeah. So I feel like
Lanzini is we say a shadow, but he's on the bench warming it every week. He's
been there for almost 2 years now. After his long injury, he's been there since he can't get to the,
And they've got, I like that about what's it called, West Ham. They've got a couple of those kind of tricky players, Fornal, Lanzini, now. So they've got those kind of things. Players that even me at Liverpool, we haven't even got those kind of players, and he's got abundance of them still. But Villa,
they got a big squad,
Of course, that's why they're doing very well, because people thought playing in Europa League it will affect their league form, but it's been the opposite. He's been able to shuffle the players around the fixtures there, which is done very well. And then moving on to Villa there. My goodness, there, Dean Smith there. How a season changes so quickly. Last season he was doing wonderful stuff. Now there's little what's it called groans of maybe he could be the next man sacked.
Well, I saw what's his name on the bench there.
Yeah, the captain
Tyrone Mings on the bench, and I was thinking, is he injured? What's going on there?
But Tyrone Mings
was gone.
No, but you don't drop your. He's still their best defender, regardless of what anybody says to me. He's still their best defender.
Because look at Man United with Maguire.
Yeah,
you don't drop them.
You keep faith sometimes in your best defender and say,
Tyrone Mings has been doing howlers, can't pass. He can't even make 4 or 5 yard passes anymore. He's shocking.
Confidence is shot. Is it?
Confidence is finished. And even
you look at the what's it called? Yeah, go on.
So I'm going to say, even Martinez, as we talk about Arsenal all the time, is to go back to concentrating not to be a goalkeeper.
Thank you.
The guy is conceding every minute.
Left, right, and centre.
Always angry and looking like he wants to cry there.
And the thing is, and as you said, go back to his day job. Maybe in training he's not even 100% because some of the shots that you said, they're savable. Where's Mr. Licorice when we need him? I hope you're watching, Governor.
I don't know what the 100. I don't know what the 100
Taggart and what's it called, Cash. Now they're looking like what they call Daly and what's it called, Terry McCann there, whatever.
I don't know what the 100 million project is doing right now, but it's just not working. And the way they're playing, they're not even playing in Europe. That's what's shocking about it. There's a stats that they've lost 3 games in a row. In Premier League,
it is a bit
Europe, and you're losing them kind of matches.
It is a bit of a shock to Aston Villa because honestly, they did spend some money. Danny Ings warming the bench nowadays. I'm thinking, why is Danny Ings warming the bench?
I know, it's shocking.
Bailey getting injured, coming back, it doesn't even look any good anymore. It looks like he was a fake player at Bayern.
There you are. Even the one they bought from Norwich.
Buendia, whatever his name is.
That's why I let you people pronounce it.
Well, we know your names nowadays.
It was
Emilio. I just call him Emilio. I know the first names.
Emilio. No. I was gonna say this year. I was gonna say this always happens when teams get a bit of money. They go wild with the spending. You go wild with the spend, then you don't have no team cohesion, no team solidarity. You just kind of lose that. Fulham have done that, bought loads of players and done nonsense. Now, same thing, Aston Villa doing the same.
Norwich did it as well.
Norwich did
this
it.
Season.
You just when you keep spending like that, you sort of lose a bit of
cohesion. You lose the job.
You look at their position in the table. They're 15th. So as FM said earlier about Brentford, start losing games against people around you before you know it. What's it called? The likes of maybe Burnley and what's it called and Newcastle. If Newcastle can eventually get a win, forget about Norwich. The wheels are coming off there, so he's under pressure there, Mr. Smith. There still. Let's see what he can do. But let's moving on to the final game of the fixture weekend, which is, even though it's a Monday, is Wolves versus Everton there still. So what's your view over there, people?
Everton, I was praising the project earlier on the pod, but Rafa. The team's been rough.
Liverpool fans are rubbing their hands. Good job, Rafa. Well done. Let's see what's going on there.
We paid you well.
Inside job. Inside.
That's it. Start well with them. Get their
fool them.
That's it. Get their hopes high, and then take the ladder off.
They do have many injuries, and like DCL.
I don't want to hear such things about. They're missing 2 or 3 players. They're missing Calvert-Lewin and they're missing Decore. The rest, Mina is not somebody you can tell me is an injury that should be causing a team to be losing games.
He's always injured anyway.
You need for a while. I'm sorry, I have to stop you there, FM. I'm going to pick up on that again. You need backup players. Yes, Everton have got money to spend, right? Where are your backup players?
No, I'm sorry. Everton have spent. They said Everton in the last 3 or 4 years they spent to the tune of almost 400 million.
On who though? Who?
Yeah, it's how it goes. It's how much did the Wolby cost? How much did the Wolby cost?
I think we should get some financial people to look at their books there because I don't know who they spend that money on.
Well, that's it. A Wolby.
Klassen.
Hold on, you said 400 to 500 million, and you mentioned
I said 300 to 400 million there.
What's his name again?
Iwobi.
So I'm saying, where are the backup players? Where's the backup?
You brought it back.
Oh no, I said it correctly in the first time.
Yeah, sure. He did it.
I did. Because Grand Champ would have jumped on that one.
How much was it? He was nothing.
Don't forget Godfrey. They bought. How much is it? Is it Godfrey?
Godfrey was expensive. He was expensive. In the past years, they bought so many flops. They bought Klassen.
Rodriguez. Or what's his name?
Ahmed was on a free, no?
I think he was on a free.
He
was a transfer.
Bruno, is it Gomez? What's his name? Not Bruno Gomez.
Gomez.
Bruno Gomez, yeah. Is it Bruno Gomez? I don't know.
Not Bruno, not Gomez.
Not Bruno Gomez. Gomez, I don't know his first name.
Listen.
Alan, they bought from Alan from Italian league there still. He wasn't cheap.
Yeah, they spent a lot on players in the past, but Everton, they really need all these players back or else they'll be sinking down the table.
Okay, let's just very quickly. I said it to you guys earlier. If Pickford gets injured, who's their backup keeper?
Nobody. They got the one. They got I think it's Begovic or whatever. The former what's it called?
Berkovic.
Yeah,
wow.
he's been around. He's a journeyman. I think he's almost 38.
39 years old.
Well, there you go.
If Coleman gets injured, who's their backup? Holgate.
Holgate's that's even already in the team playing. So
and
I don't
he
know
can
how
play right across the back. So is that one for all? Is that what that is?
There you go.
If King gets injured.
They put what's it called, Godfrey across.
So it's like shifting one from the other. Is that
That's
what it's doing?
There you go.
Their plan? Is that their plan? If Dinia gets injured, who's that? Who's that? Then?
They put Godfrey there. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, jigsaw puzzle. Where's that piece? Where's that piece?
Brilliant.
What did you say earlier on about what's it called? You made a joke there about what's it called. You know, privately when we're in our WhatsApp group there about the start of what Everton cliche is. You say it's like a woman that I don't know if it's good enough for.
No, go ahead and say it, man.
Go on, FM. Say it. So we can...
It's like when you go on holiday.
Yeah.
You know sometimes you have to settle for the big girl
for the guarantee.
That's what Everton are.
The guarantee. But you give her a fake name and a fake area you're from. Even though you're from London, you say you're from what's it called?
Do you know what I mean? Just in case.
That's it. You don't need that. You don't need that.
Look what Ancelotti did to them. As soon as Real Madrid came, man was gone there. Do you know what I mean?
You walked in with this woman you picked her up the night before, and then you saw some top class and you left it with her. And the one that you walked in is asking, where's Ancelotti now? And I had a major billionaire there, for God's sake.
Uzmanov.
What do you say about the lights being switched off there? All changed, Governor, all changed. This was going all the way to Goodison Park. It was, but it's not enough fuel, you losers.
Brilliant. Everything be compared to
you guys are killing them.
On holidays there, the ugly ones as well. I know those ones.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they are. You have to remember, Everton has spent, since their last trophy, you're talking about 500, 600 million. And their last trophy was when some of us were at, at college, and a couple of you two were at primary school, possibly, or if not early secondary school. Because their last, trophy, 1995,
goodness.
Yes, FA Cup there.
At least
95.
Yeah, 95.
At least
still.
At least they're building a new stadium.
Building? Where is it? Has it even started? All I saw was a couple of shovels.
What has Everton done for you guys?
And those shovels are rentals as well, returning them back.
Wow, now you guys good, man.
Didn't Liverpool steal Anfield off them?
Well, you know how it is. It was the right.
Give me that stadium.
The tenants. Can you imagine? It's a bit like what you see on TV. The tenants taking over from the landlords. The landlord can't even get in the house anymore.
Lodgers. They're lodging in now. They're lodging. Brilliant lodging for Liverpool.
And the landlord's outside talking to the news, saying I can't even get into my own building. And the worst thing is,
he's not paying rent.
I still have to pay the rent. The council tax.
No.
What a way to end it.
Hi, man. Wow.
Finish Everton. Okay, does someone want to run us through the games, mid Champions League games?
Oh yeah, what's it called? Quickly, what's it called? You got what's it?
Yeah,
go on. Are you gonna go on? What's it called? Grand Champ. That's fine.
No. I was going to say that the Champions League games are the return games, right? Just two headers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah. Go ahead.
So you got what's it called? You got Atalanta versus Man United. Even though Man United beat what's it called? A boring, easy Spurs. Atalanta, it will still be a bit of a difficult game there. Still, Mark. You expect Man United to win that game?
Yep.
Yeah. What's it called? We'll see how that goes. Then you got it's Malmo. Is it Malmo?
Chelsea Malmo.
Yeah, so you expect Chelsea to do the job there, and then moving quickly to Wednesday, Liverpool versus once again Atletico Madrid. Liverpool need to sort themselves out. I think they've got midfield problems, as I said earlier. I think it'll be a tight game. I still put Liverpool favourites, but if we get a draw, it's not too bad because we're in control of that group virtually anyway. And then the other game is it Club Brugge versus City there, so it should be another formality win for City in Champions League. And then you got a couple of games on Thursday in the Europa League and the conference.
Yeah,
good luck to them anyway.
Don't do too much. Don't do too much.
But one more there. A big game on the weekend. The biggest game of the weekend coming up next weekend is the Manchester Derby. And that would be to see if Man United have really turned the corner, because obviously Man City would be angry also because they dropped points already. They can't afford to drop points because Chelsea is playing Burnley. So you expect Chelsea to beat Burnley. So Man City really need to win that game because even the draw's not good enough.
It's a big game. I'm sure.
And then one more, West Ham versus Liverpool. Liverpool, if they don't sort themselves out, that could be where they can lose their
West Ham are another bogey team for Liverpool. They're another bogey team for Liverpool.
That's why I'm a bit looking there, just a bit looking. That's me anyway. I'll leave you boys to whatever you want to say there.
Nah, that's enough for today. There. I think
the Everton one was too much.
I got a headache from laughing. It's brilliant.
That was wonderful. It's wonderful episode.
I'm just gonna say this is one of the best seasons I'm watching in football. In Premier League, there's so many goals and it's exciting. Too many managers been sacked already, and we're not even in December yet. Like, it's just brilliant. And
the thing is, we're talking about stat managers. That shows you, as we keep saying, the mentality of Norwich. That's all it says. That manager is there. There you go. All right, then. Well done.
All right. Till next week.
Remember to subscribe.
That part.